Hi, my babies, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little old me will be down below in the description box. You do not have to be a Virgo to watch this video. Alright, y'all. I know, it's late. I know. But better late than never. That's my excuse for today. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this and get into this because, y'all, I done tried to record this thing like twice, okay? That's how much of an evil spirit is on the story I'm telling y'all today. When I say it was drama and kaflama, y'all, we gotta go ahead and get into it because this shit gonna be long. Alright, so, episode 10. How the company you keep affects your energy. I know a lot of people like to think, oh, people like my friends are my friends, my family is my family. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Bullshit, okay? Because the energy you have around you affects you, just like the food that you eat affects you. So, if your energy ain't right, I'm probably looking at you a little sideways, okay? If the company you got around you ain't right, I'm probably looking at you a little sideways. Because it will only be a matter of time before that shit start infecting you. So it's very important to not only y'all to be alert, but also to be aware of the energy around you and the energies that you have around you that they also allow around. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this story. We're going to talk about Mac today. Yes, we're going to talk about Mac. Now, y'all have heard me talk about Mac before, but not necessarily, more so his house. And I said, eventually we're going to get to the point where I'm going to have to talk to y'all about this place that is famous, okay? Like, this shit is famous, known as the garage in the sun room. When I say historic shit has gone down in this place, like, shit you never seen before, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and talk about Mac. I'm trying to speed this up, y'all. Okay, how me and Mac met. We met at the bus stop because he literally stayed around the corner from me where I grew up at. Now, we met in middle school. I was 11. I think he was like 14. Yeah, you heard me. He got left back. But he was on his way out, though. And I was just coming into middle school. So that's how we met. And he just kind of always looked at me like his little sister. Now, I've always known him to be respectful. And it got to a point when I did end up running back into him. Now, when I ran back into him, because, like, from middle school to high school, like, I mean, clearly, there's some years in between there, we fell off. Like, we were still cool, but we fell off, like, different age groups. But he always called me his little sister. Now, when I ran back into him again, like, where we kind of stayed in contact, it was when I was 16 going on 17, actually. And I ran into him and one of his homeboys that we're going to call Trey. Now, Trey is around his age. So they're like 3-4 years older than me. And I was 16 going on 17. And Trey was 21 going on 22. But Trey liked me, though. And I liked Trey. Okay. But when I found out how old Trey was, I was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't even do that. I'm not even about to sit here. And he didn't give a fuck. He like, you be 18 some shit. Okay. I was like, nah, I can't even do that. But he did tell me he does tattoos. So at this point in my life, I was 17 now. I had turned 17. My birthday passed. And this was November 2007. And we was about to move out the house I grew up in. But I went over to Mac's house because Trey does tattoos and I wanted a tattoo of Tinkerbell. Now, this particular place, at the point in time, it was just the garage. This particular place is like a congregation of misfits. Because that's kind of what I used to call us. I'm like, yo, we just a family of misfits, yo. Like, and that's how we all bonded. Like, seriously, that's how we all bond is. People from all different walks of life, all different types of religions, been through all different types of shit, and we just come together and we break bread with whatever we got, whether it be knowledge, whether it be food, weed, alcohol. We break bread with each other when we come together at this particular spot. So, this was my first time going in there, and I was just amazed. There was so many people in there, and everybody just walking around like a family and shit. And I'm like, oh, this shit is dope, right? So, this is actually the place where I met my ex-fiance, but that's a story for another time. But this is also the time when I also became quote-unquote conscious. I learned about Queen Makeda, I learned about certain shit in the Bible, and how it basically referred back to me as a black woman. And the crazy thing is, a year before that, when I was 16, I said, I don't have a religion anymore. It just didn't feel right to me. And then I show up there a year later and they're giving me all the answers I was looking for, but I didn't know where to look for them. And I was like, yes, this is what I need. So I started going over there more often, and then naturally, of course, my ex-fiance and him are like brothers. So we would go over there and everybody knew we was a couple, blah, blah, blah. Now, where shit started getting crazy is Mac had a girlfriend. I didn't know Mac had a girlfriend at first, right? So Mac starts coming over my house too, because my ex-fiance was living with me and my mother and my sister, okay, at the point in time. So, like, at this point in time, everybody's walking, just so you know, okay? Everybody's walking. So, like, he would walk over here and come kick it with us. Now, what I did not know was that Mac had a crush on my sister. And just one day I'm getting my hair done and they're kicking on the couch and I'm looking over and they kissing and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Now this is where shit went the fuck left. Yeah, that sister. This is where shit went the fuck left. First off, my sister took this lady's boyfriend from her. So naturally this lady has a beef with me. Then that turns into they're madly in love with one another, but then shit starts going sideways with their relationship. And it was a lot of drama, and my sister cheated on him and he cheated on her, but my sister was like, she got pregnant by somebody else and it wasn't real, and it was just a lot of fucking drama. But at the point in time, he thinking my sister cheated on him and got pregnant by another man, that shit just crushed him. On top of that, I'm in the middle of this shit. You're making me look bad because you looking like a hoe out here. I mean, facts is facts. And, like, everybody, like, we hang around mad people. Y'all been together for a year and some change. Why would you do that stupid shit instead of just breaking up with him? So now I'm in the middle of having to answer all these questions. Well, Nina, how could she do that to my dude, man? And, and I'm like, fuck, bro. So this is drama on top of drama. Plus everybody in me and my ex-fiance's relationship, and that's like his bro, so that's even more drama that I will save for another time with that. But, okay, stay with me, y'all, cause I gotta speed this shit up. So, they end up breaking up. My sister thinks she's pregnant. She cheated on him. Everybody out the old hood know, okay? Everybody at the old spot knows. So I'm in the middle of all of that. Plus me and my ex-fiance going through our own shit in the midst of one of our breakup, get back together moments. And Mac's house catches on fire. I'm on the city bus when I find out this man's house catch on fire. I completely changed my route, stopped where I was going, and got off the bus and caught the bus as close to his house as I could and walked. When I say it was a group of people outside, it was drama going on out there as well, but I was there for him because that was my brother. I known him since I was 11. At this point, y'all, I'm like 19 now when his house catches on fire. Like, when I say we've been through a lot of stuff together, like, we had moments where we cried, where we opened up, where we shared stories, we shared knowledge, like, we had experiences, we had laughs, we just did random shit together. We had to get all our money together just to get a goddamn pound J. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we struggled together. So, like, that was real life, my brother, because we went through shit together. So I thought, So me and my ex-fiance break up the following year. And I just noticed, like, after that fire happened at Mac's house, he was not the same anymore. It's like my sister did something. He was already heartbroken when they got together anyway. But it's like my sister did something to that man and it changed him. On top of the fact that he was not raised by neither one of his parents. His grandparents raised him, and they were living in his great-grandmother's house, because his great-mother got that house, and his grandfather took it over naturally when his mother passed away. So he's living with his grandparents in the family house, and neither one of his parents actually give a fuck to be a parent. So that's already issues on top of issues. Plus, on top of that, this man started smoking cigarettes when he was 6 years old. You heard me. Okay, when I say, yo, it is a blessing that I have survived out this shit. Okay, it's a blessing. Started smoking when he was 6. Don't remember how old he was when he started drinking. I think he started having sex when he was 8. Like, because he got molested, and then, y'all, it's a lot, okay? So, it's like, me and him we share certain pains, and I understand, but it's like, he had trauma on top of trauma, and for somebody and that's when I learned the difference between spiritual and conscious. He was quote-unquote conscious. He was not spiritual, but we talked about spiritual shit. I'm into the spiritual shit, the energy, and this, that, and the third. He into the conscious shit, the historian shit, and all of that there. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's why we click, because we could share knowledge with each other. But he wasn't doing his growth. You could sit here and talk to me about energies, bro. You could sit here and talk to me about chakras, bro. But you're not doing your work, though. Like, you're literally partying in the middle of your trauma. Like, you done got so comfortable with it. You've been there for so long. You're literally partying in the middle of your trauma. You just living it up. What I do? Okay, like, you just living it up like Ja Rule and them. And that's when I started noticing, okay, something ain't right. Now, I had a conversation with him because I found out when they did finally get to go back into the house, we had to go into the sunroom because grandma was like, nah, y'all not going into the garage no more. So the sunroom was the last room on the house. And naturally, y'all know the sunroom is made out of completely glass. So we are in the sunroom, and that's when I noticed, like, something's off with you, something's wrong, and I've been noticing it for a couple of months, but I'm not the type to say something, because I like to let people come to their own conclusions or work through their own shit, so they don't feel like I'm trying to criticize them. But if I notice, like, okay, like, this shit really been going on, I'm gonna say something like, bruh, what's been going on with you, your energy been off, this, that, and the third. Long story short, y'all, I found out the man was on Molly's, okay? And when I say that shit blew my mind, somebody who walk around all day and he can sit here and tell you about every pharaoh and every queen and what happened in BC and shit with the Moors and all these different languages he know and martial arts and karate and all this different shit. And you out here doing this shit, my G? We smoke the herb. What are you doing? What little baby say? You know pure ain't gold. What the fuck is going on? Because it went from Molly's and it got worse. If you understand what I'm saying. Because Molly's has goddamn, like, almost everything in it but weed. So, my mind was blown. I was disappointed. And he really honors me because it's different type of energies that run through there. But I'm what they would consider a pure energy. Like, I'm not a hoe. Okay, I'm a woman who is loving and stand by her man, and I want the best out of life, and I work for it. I'm not expecting nobody to carry me. So, I was carried, like, I had a different level of respect in there. So, when he saw my disappointment in him, it hit him different. So, I'm thinking that he's changing. So, to fast forward a little more, I'm working at this music shop. I got to tell y'all some stories about this music shop. Oh, my goodness. So I was a manager at this music shop, and this customer comes in, and it's not that far from my old neighborhood, so a lot of people from my old neighborhood come in there. And me and the guy were talking and stuff, and I could tell, you know, he had a little bit of money by the way he was dressed, golds in his mouth, this, that, and the third. I could tell the ones that's faking and the ones that really got it, and I could tell he really had it. So we having a conversation and stuff, and, you know, I could tell he was educated and stuff too. And we ended up having a conversation about my old neighborhood. He was like, oh yeah, I know some people from out there. So he started throwing out some names. I was like, yeah, I know that one. I don't know that one. But then he said Mac. And I was like, yo, that's my bro. I'm like, this, that, and the third. And I used to be a part of this organization. Okay. It was not really an organization. But it was supposed to stand for basically black people unifying to create their own wealth. That's what it was supposed to be. However, shit went left because I found out he is the actual creator of this organization. And I've been in this organization for years, but I never met you. So, dear sir, exactly how organized is your organization if I don't know who you are and you don't know who I am and I'm in your shit? So me and him, actually, I had a debate. Cause I'm going back and forth with this man about what it stands for and this, that, and the third. And he trying to tell me this. I'm like, no, I was told that. So I was like, well, I'm going to go back to Mac and I'm going to have a conversation with him about this conversation. He's like, yeah, you do that. So I did that. And Mac was talking all this big shit, man, niggas be lying and no, we started this shit. He just was a part of it and this, that, and the third. And, you know, pumping himself up, hyping himself up. He's my brother. I believe him, right? Now, where shit went left is, me personally, I ain't no fake person, you know. I don't have no issue with saying if I got an issue, okay? It might take me a while sometime, depending on the situation, but if I got an issue with something bothering me, I ain't got no issue with speaking up and saying, look here, I don't like that shit, okay? So we're having a conversation in the sunroom, and it was some other people in there. And I'm like, yeah, I ran into this dude named T, talking about he started the organization, this, that, and the third. Now, what I didn't know was one of the homies that was in there is actually T's best friend, which is the guy that said he started the organization. So he was like, oh, well, I'm going to call him then. Now, I'm looking at Mac like, I was like, you could call him, that's fine. I already told him I was going to have this conversation, and me and Mac already had this conversation. So I'm thinking me and Mac on the same page. Oh no, Mr. Talk all that big shit sitting over there quiet as a mouse. And that's when I started realizing you ain't who you say you are. See, and that's what I'm saying. Them signs be there, y'all. Them signs be there. So basically, y'all, to make this short, we end up going back, and me and the dude end up going back and forth. His best friend did get mad, but because I'm a female, of course, he gonna, you know, hold it down some. But he was a very emotional person. But basically what happened was they basically tried to carry me, and I had to hold my shit down on my own, and Mac didn't hold it down with me at all. And the guy was basically trying to talk shit because they have also allegedly a chapter in Atlanta, Georgia, that he went down there and started during his travels. Because it started in Virginia, but he allegedly got a chapter in Atlanta, Georgia. And he was like, man, them ATL boys, they out here doing work for the community. They doing this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, you ain't saying nothing but a word. You know, well, shit, what's up? What we doing then? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Oh, no. Conversation gets shut down. They tried to sign me. I'm like, well, bet then. So what happens is we end up getting on the phone with our homeboy, Louis, up in NY. And Louis is from there, from our area too, our neighborhood too and shit. But he ended up moving up to NY, you know, family and shit, you know, grown man shit. And Louis was like, oh no, they ain't about to carry us just like that. He was like, fuck that. Since he want to try to carry us and say VA ain't doing work and Georgia is, he said we're gonna do an event. He said we're gonna put the organization's name on the flyer. You go back and tell them niggas what we doing and tell them back us up since we ain't doing work for the community. Here's an opportunity for us to do some work for the community. And I did exactly that. I made the flyer. I posted it up at my job. I put that organization name on that flyer. We went back and we talked to T and his best friend, and we told them about that shit. Do you know we had a major event to the point where the police started circling around us, and all I did was collect used clothes, and we collect money donations. I went and bought these homeless people water, fresh fruit, crackers, you know, stuff to get them through their day. And we went and got them socks and stuff like that. And I just went and got some goddamn card tables and posted that shit up on the corner and told them, y'all come get this shit. Do you know, nobody from that organization showed up except for Mac. We were the only ones. Y'all talked to all that shit and none of them people showed up. But then the organization, which is my charity now, y'all, it started getting bigger. But I took that organization I was a part of off of that flyer. But me and him, because we proved a point and because we pulled it off, that's how my charity got started. It was to prove a point. And that shit was so successful. And them homeless people were so grateful. And even on Facebook, it started blowing up on Facebook. And we started that May 2013. It's still going. But none of them people showed up. That's why you got to watch the company you keep and how it affects your energy. Because we could have just let that shit stay at an argument and let that shit be at an argument. But instead, we turn that shit into a positive. And now 8 years later, I'm the only person still standing with my charity. The other 2 members fell off. But the point of me telling this part of the story, y'all, so y'all understand, me and this man real life went through some shit together. We real life was friends. We real life made history together. And like, this was not no light friendship at all. Like, this was a real brother and sister friendship. And like, when one of us was down, one of us was off, we used to do this thing where we would lock hands and we would share energy with each other to give the other person energy to help boost their energy up. Like, when I say that was my bro, that was my bro. But then shit went left. On top of that, I told y'all, his grandmother and grandfather raised him. His grandmother ends up getting sick. And when I say she raised him, every morning she get his boy $10. He didn't have to work. He did not work. They don't have a license. Like, didn't have a car. Did not work. People would just naturally bring him weed and alcohol. He didn't have to leave the house for nothing. Matter of fact, one night he got drunk and told me, he said that he feels like he is a pharaoh or a king and that we are his servants. Cause we be coming over there drinking and smoking with him, and he get to drink and smoke for free. I said, oh, he got me fucked up. So as y'all can see, it's little things over time that started putting the separation in between us. Then I also found out, on top of that, not only do you have a laundry list of stuff that you don't like about the dude I was fucking with, you also was out here talking shit about him behind my back in our situation. So then that was another reason why I felt like I could not trust him. And like I said, his grandma got sick, and that was my boo, that was my baby. And she got sick, y'all, because she never sat down. And that's why I say, sit your asses the fuck down. I'm trying to work 24/7. Sit down. I be having to tell my mama the same shit. I be having to tell myself that shit sometimes. But I know when to sit down, though. And she worked 7 days a week and then would come home, clean, cook, clean, like stayed. House was immaculate. You could eat off the floor damn near if it weren't for the fact so many people walking through that shit. The house was immaculate. And she ended up pulling a nerve in her back and she had to have surgery. And she ended up catching an infection from the surgery while she was having the surgery. And it made her sick. She ended up in a hospital bed. And y'all, eventually she did end up passing away. And when I say my friend died with her, he's still walking around, but he died with her. I ain't seen my friend since. He became a complete different person. Started amping up on the alcohol, started amping up on the drugs. I started noticing that. I started separating myself because the company you keep affects your energy. And me and the second love of my life, the one that they kept talking shit about, his name is Papi Chulo. That's his nickname. Puerto Rican, yes. Like, me and him, like, we would have conversations and he would always breathe life into me. And that's what I loved about that man so much. He was like, you too good for this job that you at. You too good for some of these people that you hanging around. You better than that, baby. And I see what he was talking about. And then I started my business. After me and him broke up, I started my business. And I was focused on my business. And my business started making money at my job. Because my boss let me put my jewelry company in there. In the music shop and stuff. So I could sell my jewelry and stuff. And the shit started making some good money. And then I started going to vendor shows. So I'm not interested in sitting around smoking and drinking and talking about bullshit and, you know, other people all day. I'm actually getting focused now on what the fuck I need to be doing. I'm in my early 20s. I need to be getting focused. So they didn't understand that, so I started naturally separating myself from them. Naturally separating myself from them made some people feel some type of way, and some of them missed me because when I would come over there, they would have deep conversations. We would call, we had a name for that shit. I forget, topics. That's what oh man, I forget that shit. I mean, I miss that shit. That's what we used to call that shit. We used to call that shit topics. They were like, alright, topics. Somebody would just call that shit out. They'd be like, topics. And then we would just come up with like 3-4 topics, and like the whole room, we either smoking or drinking or whatever. And we would come up with 3 or 4 topics, and then we would all go around and state how we feel about the topic. Like, we might say, okay, well, how do you feel about maybe having threesomes in your relationship? And some people might feel like that shit works. Some people might feel like this shit don't work. Like, I remember one time one of the topics was, what is your fantasy? Like, your sexual fantasy. And, like, people was telling their sexual fantasies, and, like, some of us was weak as hell, because some of them shits was funny. I'm not lying. Like, one of my homeboys was like, shit, my fantasy is I come home for work, and it's 5 bad bitches just walking around butt naked, and they all on their knees ready to suck my dick and talking about, what can we do for you today, daddy? I'm like, nigga, like, yeah, that shit gonna forever stay a fantasy too, shit. But it's like stuff like that. Like, we would have good times like that, and it just changed after his grandma died and his energy started changing. Then he fell in love with somebody after my sister, and that was somebody that actually used to come over and chill with us, and she didn't want him. And he decided he wanted a girlfriend again. And so I get called over to the crib late night, and they was like, man, you gotta come through. You ain't been over here in months. And they basically peer pressure, and I went, okay? And some told me not to go, and I went. I ended up meeting his new girlfriend that night. She's parked out in front of his house. I believe he was 7-year-old son, because he said it was like in the 2nd grade. So like, yeah, 7-year-old son is outside trying to wake his drunk mother up. And she is sitting in the driver's seat. And this boy is beating on his mama trying to wake her up. Mommy, get up. Mommy, get up. Crying. And I'm like, what the fuck did I pull up on? This is what we doing? This is the pickings? I had to sit there and take that lady's son in the house, calm him down. I'm like, baby, don't you got to go to school tomorrow? Yes, ma'am. I'm like, okay, baby, we're going to get your mama up. Everything's going to be okay. You know, making sure he's okay. I already had a bad taste in my mouth from the girlfriend. No one liked her over there, but everybody felt like I was the only one that could talk to him to get him to see this is not the chick for you. And when I say she was just an airhead, y'all, an airhead. Like, we're sitting there talking about the pharaohs and shit, because I'm not a historian, okay? I'm into metaphysics and shit like that. But Mac is a historian, so I love going over there. Like, tell me about the pharaohs, bro. Or I could be telling him about something. He's like, oh, that reminds me of that. And I want to sit there and I want to listen, because I don't have to sit there and read a fucking boring book, and I can actually sit there and learn about it. And if it piqued my interest, I can go research the shit for myself. And I'm sitting here trying to learn about the pharaohs. His dumbass girlfriend just bust out of nowhere telling me something. I wonder if they ate McDonald's. Bitch, really? I looked right at Mac. I said, why are we breathing the same air? Because I was so offended this girl was around me. And it just got worse and worse. And she started creating beefs with everybody there. Offending people, stealing people's shit, drinking up people's shit, smoking up people's shit. And then on top of that, she's a prostitute. She don't got her own. Clearly, she's not a good mother. I mean, like, y'all. And I'm like, bro, how you go from being righteous to this shit? I'm confused. So, y'all, to speed the story up some more, we got another NGCP event coming up. That's my charity. And we're going to do another give back and go give the homeless people gently used clothes, because we want to give them respectable clothes and also, you know, water, fresh fruit, and things of that nature. So I have me being the Virgo, you know, I was the boss. I got a system set up. Okay. I made the flyer. We got the dates. I post the shit at my job. You walk around the neighborhood, you hand out the flyers and tell them come to your house and bring the donations to your house, because you know the people in the neighborhood, so you don't mind them coming to your house, dropping the shit off. They watch you grow up. So you could do that much. Now, you got a washer and dryer in your house, so you wash whatever clothes need to be washed and just store the clothes in the garage. That was his only job, man. I had to do the flyers, collect everything, drop shit off, pick shit up, tell people be here, tell people this is what we're doing there. Go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing everything, plus working, plus running a business. Like, it was a lot, and I was about to get back into college again. So, like, it was a lot, y'all, and I'm like, damn, I just need a little bit of help, bro. He's into his drugs and his alcohol, and I hate to have to say it like that, because that's not the person I knew him to be. But depression is something serious, y'all. Like, you got to pay attention to the signs. But he's so caught up in just wanting to party now and numb the pain that he became unfocused. I mean, waking up 9 o'clock in the morning, reaching for a beer, like needing at least 2 beers before 10 a.m. So serious. needing at least 2 beers before 10 a.m. Like, it got that bad. And I'm trying to work with him, but I'm like, I can't control no grown-ass man. People coming to me talking about he keep kicking us out over the weekend, because he never would kick nobody out. And then when he started dating that girl, it's like his alcohol and drug problem got worse, and he started kicking people out randomly, like we all laughing, having a good time, and he just tell everybody get the fuck out. And then they calling me, and I gotta go over there every fucking Tuesday for a month straight like clockwork. Bro, what the fuck going on? Why you snapping on people? Why you kicking people out? Why was you fighting bro for? Why was you snapping on sis for? You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to fix it. I'm like, the fuck? I ain't Mother Teresa? Shit. So then on top of that, the other issue is his girlfriend is insecure and upset because I don't like him. Like, I don't like him. I don't like her. And like I said, the people over there look at me like, oh, you're the one who everybody looks to as the respectable one, the one we go to for answers and shit. And I'm one of the youngest ones over there, but okay. But like, and y'all, like, it was just so much. Like, Mona from Love and Hip Hop would have had a field day with them cameras up in there, okay? And I'm really speeding this up, y'all, for time purposes. So, where the problem comes in, I got another homeboy named Chicken and Spaghetti. Chicken and Spaghetti calls me the Tuesday before our event. Now, the only job Mac had the Tuesday before our event is on Saturday. We do a meeting the night before our events, which would be Friday. His only job was wash one big bag of clothes because they smelled funky. Because the person left their clothes out in the shed. Won't nothing wrong with the clothes. All he had to do was wash them, though. He left them clothes out in the sunroom. And one of my homeboys said he put them in the house because he saw ants in there. So, he put it in the garage. So, the ants and stuff wouldn't be in the sunroom. But he still had not washed the clothes. Like, you had a whole week and he still not had washed the clothes. So, Tuesday, my homeboy Chicken and Spaghetti hit me up. He was like, yo, Nina, I want to go over Mac house. I'm like, I bet. Go scoop him. I'm expecting a whole bunch of people to be over there. Now, mind you, it's a sunroom. I can see into the sunroom as I'm walking up the driveway. It's 2 people in that shit. Mac and his girlfriend. And they both sitting by the door. And I'm like, why they sitting so close to the door for? We open the door up. It's one empty chair sitting in front of them. And that's when shit started clicking. And Matt looked at Chicken and Spaghetti, and he was like, Chicken and Spaghetti, I don't mean no disrespect, but I need you to wait outside and you talk to sis. And that's when it clicked. Oh, this is a sit down. This is a sit down. Oh, what the fuck going on? So I sit down, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is it now? Shit. Like, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Mac pushed for me and my ex-fiance's baby mama to become cool so bad for the sake of their child because their child loved me so much. And he was like, y'all need to be cool and whatnot and da-da-da-da-da. So me and her became cool. And that friend's just cool. She kicking over my house because she wanted to smoke and shit. She overhears a conversation I'm having on the phone with somebody. He's like an aunt to everybody over there. So, like, he know a lot of secrets and shit, too. And people come to him for a lot of shit, too. He was like, Matt called him looking for some shit. Looking for Molly's. She heard it. I told her, I said, whatever you heard, don't you repeat that shit. Big ass mouth bitch go running her mouth to Mac. Nina out here telling people you on drugs. Bitch, how did we get to this conclusion? Okay, how, Sway? How? Make it make sense. So, he was like, I heard you out here telling people I'm on drugs, this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, no, that's not what happened. He was like, well, I heard you say this shit. I ain't say that shit. I heard you say this shit. I ain't say that shit. I heard you say this shit. I ain't say that shit. I heard you say this shit. I said that shit. I said that shit, and I meant that shit. I damn sure did. I said that shit right there. I sure did. I don't like that bit. I said that shit. And he was like, sis, I expect more from you because you the person I'm the closest to and da-da-da-da. And she was like, well, our relationship don't concern you. And I'm like, well, it actually does concern me. Because 1, we own a charity together. 2, me and this boy done been through hell and high water. And I'll be damned if I sit here and watch him backslide like this. But apparently, if he don't give a damn, I don't give a fuck. Okay? And that's basically how that conversation went. We just agreed that when I'm over there, me and her will be respectful of one another and leave it at that. And the reason why he asked that much of me is because he felt like if I was nicer to her, everybody else would be nicer to her. But I won't mean to the girl. I just wouldn't talk to the girl because I'm like, ain't no point in me talking to you because I've tried to sit and have a conversation with you because he asked me to, and I'm trying to figure out what it is you want out of life, and you talking about you want to go back to school, but you can't go back to school because you owe the people money, and all you really want is to check anyway. Like, you don't care about education, you don't care about having a job, then, like, bitch, what you want me to do? So fast forward to Friday. I'm in Walmart getting shit together for the event. I'm buying the water and everything that we need, right? So, get a phone call again. Chicken and spaghetti. I'm like, I ain't got time for this shit tonight, bruh. I want to go to Mac House. Me not knowing it's a full-fledged party going on over. And when I say a full-fledged party, it was a full-fledged party going on over at Mac House. I didn't even think that. I'm tired. Okay, I just worked 5 days. 50 hours. Like, sir. Plus, I got to do this charity event. I'm like, I want to go home, smoke, meditate, and do what I need to do for tomorrow. He's like, man, I want to go to Mac House. My intuition kept telling me, do not go, 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 do not go. What'd I say? After I got about 3 phone calls from 3 other people, man, Nina, come through, come through. We went. And I regret that shit, because here's where it goes down. I show up, energy was off. Mac got about 20 people up in that bitch. Some people in the driveway, some people in the sunroom, some people out in front of the house. They got music playing. People is drinking. All I see is alcohol. I'm over there with my bag. I had a big bag then. And they sitting there. Oh, where the weed at? Where the weed at? Where the weed at? Ain't nobody got no weed. Ain't nobody got no weed. I'm sitting there the whole time with a whole fucking cue in my bag and 2 packs of roll-ups. Like, damn, that's a damn shame. Sipping on my Heineken. Ain't nobody got no weed. That is a damn shame. I be damn if I smoke with y'all. And I'm like, why am I here? Because the only reason why I need to come here is to discuss what we're going to do tomorrow. What time we're meeting up, this, that, and the third. You still ain't washed these bag of clothes. And I'm like, why am I here? Now, I go on a walk with Team. Remember the organization person? His best friend. Me and his best friend, we go on a walk and shit. He was like, sis, what's going on, man? I heard you and old girl got issues. I'm like, God damn, word travel fast, don't it? I'm like, no, it's not that we have issues. It's just, I just don't care to, intermingle with her because we have nothing to talk about. We have nothing in common. Like, it's not the same. He was like, I understand that shit, sis. He said, but everybody look at you like the respectable one and the queen and this. And I'm like, I understand that, but that ain't my shit to care for people. Like, either they gonna vibe with her or they not. I'm not gonna vibe with everybody either. I said, I don't have no issue with them being together. They want to be together, then fine. That's what that man chose, and that's what that man chose. I said, I went and had a conversation with him. He said he took whatever they sent him, and that's the piece of shit that he wanted, so that's what that man got, and he happy with it, then fine. That ain't for me to be sitting up here judging. He said, I feel you. So it was established with that conversation that me and homie took around the block. I have no issue with this lady. Why do we walk back to Mac's house? I walk up the driveway. Mac feeling some type of way because he see us walking. He feel like we talking about him, which we was, but it won't in a bad way. But he's so drunk and insecure at this point because everybody talking shit about his girlfriend and about him. He don't want nobody talking shit, so he really angry at everybody. On top of the fact that it's a group of females in there, and the ringleader of these group of females is his side bitch that his girlfriend don't know about but might know about. So his side bitch is talking shit, trying to create problems with his girlfriend. The girlfriend is mad with me and mad with the side bitch and mad with him. Okay, do y'all understand where this is going? And then chicken and spaghetti. We're not going to forget about chicken and spaghetti. We're going to get to him in a second. Now, there's another female in there. We just going to call her Florida because that's where she's from. Florida has great energy. Everybody loves Florida. Okay, like it's hard not to love Florida. She just has great energy. Now, I have my afro out. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people and why they think because I have my afro out, I'm a fucking petting zoo. Don't touch my hair, bitch. Okay, don't do that shit. That's so disrespectful. That's my crown. Don't touch my hair. So his girlfriend asked could she touch my hair. I told her no. 5 minutes later, here come Florida, drunk as fuck. Oh my God, Nina, your hair's so beautiful. She touching it, fluffing it. I'm like, thank you, boo. I appreciate you. And I let her play in it because she has good energy. His girlfriend got mad. That created another problem. On top of the fact that I have my music playing off of my phone on my playlist, and the shit was actually calming people down. The tension was going down because I missed my calling in life. I should have been a DJ. That's why I was working at the music store anyway. I should have been a damn DJ. Because I just know the right music for the mood, for the atmosphere. So I had certain music playing and shit, and they was vibing out and shit. The tension was going down. Chicken and Spaghetti, all in his fucking ego, like the fucking Gemini he is, cuts my music off. Now, he cuts the music off. Mac is outside talking to the homie I just went around the block with to let him know that everything is copacetic. Oh, God. Mac gets mad because he hear Chicken and Spaghetti in here trying to preach to us like he fucking Malcolm X or somebody. Like, nigga, don't nobody give a fuck about what you talking about. It's Friday night. We just want to fucking chill out. We don't give a fuck that goddamn power shit right now. Or we are the world shit right now. We don't want to hear none of that right now. Okay? We just want to fucking chill and listen to the music. He not knowing it's tension in the room. So by him sitting there doing that got Mac amped up. And Mac is mad because he like, oh, you trying to be big dick energy in my house. And I'm the only big dick energy in my house. So he coming there with his Scorpio ass ego. And they start going back and forth. And then the group, like, y'all, it was so many people going back and forth in there. I started to step out the room. I stepped out the room to go talk to the homie. He was like, he mad because me and you went around the corner. I'm like, well, what the fuck? So the side bitch and her crew leave. Thank fucking God that they did. Because here it goes. Okay? So, Mac's sitting down. My homeboy, Patty Cake, is in there. Mac is sitting down in a chair. Patty Cake is standing in front of him. Mac's girlfriend is standing to his left. I come back in. I see the Lion of Judah flag laying on the floor. That's a Rasta flag, by the way. Okay? And to me, that is a flag that does not need to be on the floor. Like some people feel like the Bible, the American flag shouldn't be on the floor. I feel like the Lion of Judah flag should not be on the floor. So I picked the shit up and put it back on the door where it was. Now she gets mad because I told him the way that this environment is, you might as well take that Lion of Judah flag off the back of the door and put a trash bag on the door. She got mad because he told her that. So she see me putting the flag up on the door. And she was like, oh, so now you want to put the flag up? Now you want to put the flag up? What happened to the trash bag? And I'm like, girl, don't start right now. I was like, not right now. This ain't the time. She want to yell back and forth from me across the room. And I told y'all, when I get mad, I start walking towards the person. It was a natural thing. Now, I did stop. I didn't get in her face. I did stop where Patty Cake was. Now, remember, Patty Cake is standing in front of Mac, okay? So Mac can't see me because I'm standing behind Patty Cake, but he could see Patty Cake and he could see his girlfriend, but he could hear my voice. Now, she kept putting her finger in my face, and I got a 3-time policy before I swing, and the 3rd time I'm swinging, period. Whether you stop or not, if I say it the 3rd time, I'm swinging. Now, Mac knows I have a 3-time policy because my sister daddy came over there one time with some bullshit, and I told him to get his goddamn hand out my face. He kept trying me, and I threw a whole fucking trash can at this man, full of beer bottles and shit. Sure did. Don't put your hand in my face. Don't disrespect like that. I will give you your respectable space. You give me the same. She kept putting her finger in my face. I told her first time, get your finger out my face. You gonna do what, Nina? What you gonna do? She put her finger in my face again. I said, shorty, I told you, get your finger out my face. Okay? So, at this point in time, Matt grabs her by her forearm and snatches her down to the ground. He was telling her, chill out. She think I'm playing. I started taking off my jewelry. Now, what I fucked up was I did not take off this queen necklace that I had, and it had this iced out crown on it. Oh my God. It was on one of them nameplate type janks, but it was big though. Oh my God. And I did not take that necklace off, and I really wish I would have, okay? Because she saw me taking off my jewelry, and she was like, oh, what's that supposed to mean? So I'm thinking this bitch gonna fight me anyway. So I'm thinking she about to swing on me. So I'm like, well, fuck taking the necklace off. I ain't about to sit here and try to take off my necklace and get swung on. And I was like, yo, I told you, keep your finger out my face. So she come and put her finger in my face again. So I snatched her finger down, and I snatched her finger down so hard. I don't think I broke her finger, but I damn sure sprained that shit at least. Cause the way her bone moved when I snatched that shit, I know I fucked her finger up. And she took her hand and took the bottom of her hand and caught me up under my chin and mushed me. And I took 2 steps back and I said, bitch, and just started popping her ass. Like, the shit was crazy. My homeboy Patty Cake was like, I didn't even know y'all was fighting. All I felt was the wind of your fists going past my head. He said, I felt the wind, and I turned around like, what is that? He was like, I just seen fists going. So Patty Cake grabs me. He throws me in the corner. Naturally, Matt grabs his girlfriend. And I was like, oh no. fuck that. And Patty Cake is really strong, y'all. I broke out the corner. Patty Cake was like, oh shit. So by this point in time, everybody had came in the sunroom because they was like, oh shit, Nina fighting. And Nina was not known to fight at that point in time because I had got very calm. I mean, like, me and my ex-fiance, we would fight, but I would try not to fucking fight, or I would try to fucking defuse the situation. And they know if I got that mad, it was for a fucking reason. So they throw me back in the corner because I almost got to her, but Max stood in front of me so I couldn't get to her. So they throw me back in the corner. So now I got 4 dudes on top of me. By the way, 2 of them is over 300 pounds. Okay, not 300 pounds. 250, my bad. I'm trying to say over 200 pounds. They're over 250 though. 2 of them is over 250. One of them, he's somewhere around 200. And then Patty Cake, who is strong as hell. And I broke out the corner again. Now, when I broke out the corner again, Mac came to grab me too. So now I got Mac and 4 other dudes grabbing me. But thank God all the guys was behind me because my shirt went up and my titties was all type of out. And I knew this female loved drama because she looking at me, smiling and licking her lips at me. And I had to pull my shirt down. I'm like, oh, yo, I'm going to kill this bitch. They put me back in the corner again. And I stood in the corner for about 2 minutes. They thought I was done. I was just really trying to catch my breath so I could get back up out the corner. And that's what I did. When I say I got inches from grabbing her ass, goddamn it, that time. And that time, everybody was on me. And it was like, take her outside. Take her outside. Now, at this point in time, I was not into grounding. And I did not want to go outside with no shoes on. So I was like, no, don't take me outside. I'm grabbing on the side of the wall and shit. And I start throwing bottles and shit at her. Because we used to collect the alcohol bottles too. Like the big liquor bottles and shit. And I started throwing them shits at her. And they just took my ass outside. And y'all, it was a big ass fiasco. I got tackled by Chicken and Spaghetti because he talking about he was trying to calm me down. I just think he wanted to be on top of me. But then the next thing I know, everybody else goes outside because Mac and his girlfriend start fighting in the back of somebody else's car. And she was like, y'all can't be fighting in the back of my car with all this domestic violence shit. And they started fighting. I got Chicken and Spaghetti in the sunroom looking for my goddamn earrings because them shits was 10 karat gold. And I'm like, God damn, if I leave up out here without these earrings, y'all done broke my necklace. I'm already pissed about that. You done broke my good flip-flops. I'm pissed about that. I be damn if you break my fucking... I be damn if I don't have my earrings. So I'm looking for my earrings. I didn't know her and Mac was out there fighting. Mac get mad at the female that told them that they got to get out her car with the fighting. He start fighting the female. So I'm like, oh, you just putting your hands on everybody then, huh? And they said he slung her out the car to the ground. And she has excuse me, it's not a car, y'all. It's a truck. I think she had not an Escalade, but it's one of them E's, y'all. It's one of them big ones that start with an E. She had one of them, and he slung her out the car on the fucking street. Because she said, you got to get out my car with that shit. So, Mac and the homegirl start fighting. The girlfriend comes back in the sunroom. And me and her start fighting again because she told me, you want to swing again? Bitch, hell yeah, I want to swing again. I whooped her ass worse that time because there was only one person in there trying to get me off of her. And it got to the point where I was beating her up so bad, I was like, you know what? I don't even want to keep doing this because, like, clearly you ain't even fighting back no more. At this point, this is just, you know, this malicious at this point. So I had to stop. And I go outside to let them know, y'all, I'm about to leave. And I see homeboy on top of Mac trying to keep Mac calm. My homegirl T, that's the one that Mac was fighting, that he slung on the ground. She done jumped out her shit. Her car still going down the motherfucking street because she pulling off and he still talking shit. And she done jumped out the car and her car still going down the street and walked down the street like a G and got back in the car that was rolling. She didn't run, rush, or nothing. Walked down the street like a G and got back in the car and pulled off. So we end up leaving and we left Mac and his girlfriend at the house because we was like, we need to get the fuck up out of here for somebody call the police on us. We come back to drop Florida off so she could get her car because she had to go to work. And T's homeboy, he goes in there and Max snapping, that bitch, fuck that bitch, fuck that bitch. I'm like, who he talking about? He talking about me? Come to find out, T, the homegirl, the female that he was fighting, I know it's confusing, y'all, but T, the homegirl that he was fighting, she came back with a shotgun, was about to blow this man's head off, but he ran in the house, but she was about to kill this man. Because, like, why would you put your hands on a female like that? Like, what is wrong with you? And you was in the wrong. So naturally, y'all, we stopped being friends. He also did not show up for my charity event, and his grandfather gave away all of my charity clothes, and I went out there with next to nothing for these homeless people. Plus, on top of that, he showed back up to my people house like a couple months later, fighting chicken and spaghetti in front of my people house, and could have got my people evicted. So I'm like, no, there is no need for us to be friends. You out here dragging me, you on drugs, you doing this, that, and the third. Like, no, ain't no need for us to be fucking kicking it, because you ain't doing nothing for a progression at all. So I continue on with my charity. I completely separate myself from these group of people now at this point. I continue on with my charity. As I told y'all, my charity has done things for Richmond, where we helped 2 families that got burnt out of their house right before Christmas. I sent a trunk full of toys up there to them. We helped Baton Rouge. We've helped so many places, y'all. Texas, when Texas got hit with all that flooding. We've helped Sierra Leone, as y'all heard me talk about so many times, like just different things that my charity has been able to do, like North Carolina and just so many different places, y'all. Different things that we have been able to do just by me saying, hey, I want to do something to help. Hey, do you have any extra clothes that you don't want? And collecting them and actually organizing a plan and being able to not only help different places in the United States, but also to represent the entire country of the United States of America and send clothes. And when I say send clothes, I sent like a car full of clothes over to Sierra Leone. And so not only did I represent me, but I represented my country as well. And this fool Mac, okay, like, right, all that greatness right there, right? Here comes Mac. Oh, sis, I'm proud. Years later, y'all, after the Sierra Leone thing, after everybody saw, oh, I got a picture with the ambassador of Sierra Leone, here he come a year later. Oh, sis, I'm so proud of you. I knew you will always be, the greatness that you are, this, that, and the third. It's water under the bridge. Water under the bridge. After you took me through all that shit, was dragging my name, telling people my business, you tried to completely sabotage my charity. Water under the bridge? I'm fighting and you come over here to my people crib, you fighting in front of my people crib and shit. Like, water under the bridge? Nah. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. But I had been let it go. I just knew I can't deal with you the same. Now, the reason why I'm even telling y'all about this Sunday in Mimosa is because when I did the last Sunday in Mimosa, I got an inbox from Mac. When I was actually editing the last Sunday in Mimosa, episode 9, I got an inbox from Mac telling me that he changed his life around, that he did get help, he completed a program, and he's now a drug counselor. He lives about 2 hours away from me in another big city in Virginia. And I'm like, yo, that's what's up, I'm proud of you. But he was like, are you still doing the charity work? And I was like, yeah, why? He was like, because I'm ready to work. What? You ready to work? You ready to work? He was like, yeah, since I'm ready to put that work in. He said, I've been telling everybody up here, about, the charity and all the work that we've done. Did you forget that you only participated in one event? Because the second one you sabotaged and your granddaddy gave away all of my donations. And y'all, when I say all of my donations, I had $2,000 worth of name brand jeans from overseas, from Japan, that a merchant seaman gave me. And when I say the hardest donations to get is men donations, and he had all of my men donations. And I had nothing to give the men when I went out there. That shit broke my heart. I have a very special place in my heart for yang energy, for men. I do, because I feel like y'all do not get treated right. And the shit is not right. And that's one of the things that my charity specialized in at that point in time, was men donations. And you tried to completely sabotage that, my character, my career, my friendship, everything, bruh. No. And I told him, I said, I'm glad that you are where you are. I said, if you really want to help, I said, help the community where you at. You don't have to come over here. I said, your help is not needed this way. And he was like, oh, I see where you're at with your growth and this, that, and the third. I'm like, yeah, this is where I'm at with my growth. Not mixing with energies that are not good for me and that have shown me, fuck you. That's exactly where I'm at with it. I wish you the best with yours, though. And I blocked that man. And let me explain something to you about blocking people. Okay. I block people because I don't want that energy coming towards me at all. I don't want you checking up on me, seeing what I'm doing. You don't need to do that. Don't think about me, because I ain't thinking about you. That's why you block, because I ain't thinking about you. So, y'all, please understand, you have to protect your energy at all costs. Whether it's blocking somebody, stop talking to somebody, changing your number, you have to. And when you keep getting shown certain signs and people don't respect the boundaries that you don't want to be bothered, because he has contacted me a couple of times before last month, but I've made it clear we don't need to be friends, and you keep contacting me, you're getting the fuck blocked. Please pay attention to the energy around you and know that the company you keep affects your energy. Love you, babies. Mwah.